Imagine a man, paralyzed from the waist down, hoisting himself to the most powerful office in the world during his nation's darkest hour. This isn't a Hollywood script. It's the true story of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the leader who stared down paralysis, economic collapse, and global war, and refused to blink. How did one man, confined to a wheelchair, lift an entire nation to its feet? Stick with us as we uncover the incredible journey of FDR, from personal tragedy to presidential triumph. Born into wealth and privilege, young Franklin Roosevelt seemed destined for a life of ease. But fate had a different plan. In 1921, at the age of 39, his world was shattered. Stricken with polio, he lost the use of his legs. For many, this would have been the end of a political career. For FDR, it was a crucible. The pain, the struggle, the sheer force of will required to relearn how to move, forged in him a new kind of strength and unshakable empathy for those who suffered. He learned patience, resilience, and a deep understanding of human struggle that would later connect him to millions of desperate Americans. He turned his personal adversity into a source of immense political power. When FDR took office in 1933, America was on its knees. The Great Depression had ravaged the country. 1 in 4 workers was unemployed. Banks were failing, farms were foreclosing, and hope was a distant memory. In his inaugural address, Roosevelt's voice boomed across the radio waves, delivering a line that would echo through history. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. It wasn't just a catchy phrase. It was a declaration of war on despair. He immediately declared a bank holiday, closing every bank in the country to stop the panic and restore trust. It was a bold, unprecedented move, and it was just the beginning. This was the dawn of the New Deal, a sweeping series of programs and reforms designed to provide relief, recovery, and reform. Think of it as the government rolling up its sleeves and getting to work. Programs like the Civilian Conservation Corps put millions of young men to work planting trees and building parks. The Public Works Administration built dams, bridges, and schools, modernizing America's infrastructure while creating crucial jobs. The Tennessee Valley Authority brought electricity and prosperity to one of the nation's poorest regions. But FDR's greatest innovation might have been his Fireside Chats. In an era before television or the internet, he used the radio to speak directly to the American people, not as a distant politician, but as a reassuring friend. He explained his complex policies in simple, clear language, making citizens feel like they were part of the recovery process. He built a powerful coalition of support, uniting diverse groups under a shared banner of hope. These chats weren't just about policy. They were about restoring the nation's confidence in itself and its government. The New Deal fundamentally changed America. It established a social safety net that we still rely on today, with landmark programs like Social Security, which provided a pension for the elderly, and unemployment insurance. It introduced new labor laws that protected workers' rights to unionize. For the first time, the federal government took on the responsibility for the economic well-being of its citizens. This wasn't without controversy. Critics accused him of expanding government power too much, of turning America towards socialism. The Supreme Court even struck down some of his key initiatives. But for millions of Americans, the New Deal was a lifeline. It was a promise that their government had not forgotten them. While leading America out of the Depression, FDR kept a significant part of his life hidden from the public. He never wanted to be seen as weak or incapable. An unspoken agreement with the press meant that photos of him in his wheelchair or struggling on his braces were rarely published. He projected an image of vigor and vitality, a crucial element of his leadership during such uncertain times. This careful management of his public image was a testament to his political savvy, but it also highlights the immense personal burden he carried throughout his presidency. As the 1930s wore on, a new storm was gathering across the Atlantic. The rise of fascism in Europe posed a grave threat to global peace. While many Americans favored isolationism, Roosevelt understood the danger. With masterful political skill, he began preparing the nation for a conflict he saw as inevitable. He initiated the Lend-Lease program, which supplied allied nations, particularly Great Britain, with vital war materials, effectively making America the arsenal of democracy long before it officially entered the war. The attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, plunged the United States into World War II. Roosevelt's steady leadership was never more critical. He guided the nation's massive mobilization effort, transforming the economy into a war machine. He was a brilliant strategist on the world stage, forging a powerful alliance with Britain's Winston Churchill and the Soviet Union's Joseph Stalin. Through a series of high-stakes conferences, these big three leaders coordinated the Allied war effort, making critical decisions that would shape the outcome of the war and the map of the post-war world. FDR's leadership during the war was defined by his unwavering resolve. He insisted on the unconditional surrender of the Axis powers, unifying the Allied cause and preventing separate peace deals. His vision extended beyond victory. He was the primary architect of the United Nations, an organization designed to prevent future global conflicts. He believed deeply in international cooperation and laid the groundwork for America's role as a global leader in the decades to come. Franklin D. Roosevelt was the only president in American history to be elected to 4 terms, a testament to the profound trust the American people placed in him. He led the nation through its two greatest crises of the 20th century, the Great Depression and World War II. His legacy is monumental. He redefined the role of the American government, established a social contract that endures to this day, and guided the world toward a new era of international cooperation. From the depths of personal paralysis, he found the strength to lift a nation, leaving behind a legacy of hope, resilience, and the enduring belief that in the face of overwhelming odds, strong and compassionate leadership can make all the difference. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey through the life of one of America's most transformative leaders. What part of FDR's story inspires you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into history's most fascinating figures. Until next time, stay curious.